Welcome to the City of Virginia Beach Development Authority monthly meeting for the month of May 17th. First item on the agenda is public comment. Any speakers? No speakers this morning for our public comment period. Next item on the agenda is the meeting minutes. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to review those.
Motion to approve.
We've got a motion from Mr. Brunke
Second.
and a second from Mr. Strange. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next item, financials.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
Good morning, board members and visitors. I will be presenting the monthly cash flow financials for the month of April. We have the operating account summary for April 2022. Our beginning cash of April 1st, 2022 was $4,338,348. I have, for the significant cash, I have summarized the totals for the cash receipts. And then, of course, down the bottom are the details as to what the sum of those cash receipts are. So we have a grand total of significant cash receipts, $91,843. Okay, and the itemized amounts of totals are down the bottom, exactly what makes those figures up. Okay, moving down, we have the significant cash disbursements. I've also done the same with adding the cash disbursement grand total, which we had $125,907 for the period of April. And this is a continuation of those disbursements for the operating account. Leaving us a ending cash amount as of April 30th, 2022, we have $4,372,955. Okay, and we're moving along to the incentive and initiative accounts summary for April 2022. Beginning cash as of April 1st, 2022 is $3,821,503. I've summarized also the significant cash receipts for that month, which was $57,824. We have the significant cash disbursements. I've also summarized that. I have made a change, but I will show you on the next slide. The grand total of the significant cash disbursements is $38,916. Okay. One of the facility logics, which is in April, we made that payment in May, so that will show up on next month's, because we made that. So it is adjusted and the total disbursement amount has been adjusted. Which gives us an ending cash for April 30th, 2022, $3,839,448. Moving on, we have a incentive summary report for April. For the past 5 years, which covered 2018 through 2022, we were approved an appropriation of $11.5 million. And the fund balance in the city CIP, which is there for us to draw down, is $5.984 million. Okay. The balance in our VBA, EDIP, which is the cash on hand, is $1.960 million. So $1.96 million. And the total outstanding commitments, which are items that we have obligated, waiting for disbursements, is the committed amounts for the EIP grants that we have is $5.262 million. Leaving us a remaining EIP fund amount of $2.682 million that we have available for disbursements. Madam Chair?
All right, any questions for Katrina? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Also, I just wanted to let you know we were approved. It will come out in fiscal year 2023. For our budget, we will receive another additional appropriation of $1.9 million.
Great. Thank you. And that'll be July 1.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct. Thank you again.
Next item on the agenda has to do with our bio. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the authority. Today I bring to you a bio challenge proposal. Just to give you a little challenge, we did host a bio challenge previously. It started in 2017. It was with the Center for Advanced Innovations. There was 2 challenge phases, and it commenced in 2019, and it produced 20 startups. The biggest hurdle to that challenge was we did not actually have our bio accelerator completed. So what we have found is some of those companies, while they've stayed in Virginia Beach, a lot have either dissolved or moved on to other opportunities. So we have been evaluating, working with the Center for Advanced Innovation on a new bio challenge for us. A little overview of CAI is they have a core team of 20 leaders with 24 years of experience. They have over 150 high-profile engagements resulting in $210 billion in profit. They've launched 80 companies, 2,000 jobs, and have unprecedented media attention and recognition. So for our challenge, this would be a business plan and startup challenge featuring inventions based in transplant care amongst other subsectors. The challenge goal would be to boost the Virginia Beach bio ecosystem by launching new startups and creating knowledge-based jobs. The challenge outcome would be 20 startup companies planted in Virginia Beach in the first year. So when they would be working on sourcing the companies, they would automatically be doing their work out of our labs at the accelerator. So here's an overview of what our 2022 challenge would look like. We would engage with, our hope would be to engage with CAI for a transplant-focused bio. They have confirmed that CareDx, a leading company in the United States, would come in as a partner on this. They provide matching funds. To answer the question we previously had, CareDx has requested to meet with LifeNet before this challenge would commence to make sure we're all on the same page. The benefits would be new startup companies, increased city industry visibility, and would bolster Virginia Beach bio. This would be a $300,000 cost. CareDx would also come in with $300,000. $200,000 of their $300,000 would go directly to funding the challenge itself, with the remaining $100,000 to be an investment in 4 to 7 companies. Today we're asking for the authority to authorize the BBA chair to enter an agreement with CAI for a bio challenge. It's important to note that the funds would be transferred from the city department, so that would take a council action, so this would be contingent on that. We are asking for you all to bless this as a sole source recommendation because of what CAI is able to bring. And I know Alex can also talk to that as well if you have any questions pertaining to sole source.
Any questions for Devin?
How come, why is CareDx involved in this?
So CareDx has been actually, so Rosemary, who runs CAI, they have been working with her to try and find a partner for this. And when we came back saying, hey, we're looking for a new challenge opportunity, she felt that this would be a great partnership, knowing that LifeNet is in our area.
And what's the percentage occupancy of the bio initiative?
I'm sorry?
What's the percentage occupancy of our bio space right now?
Right now, we have no tenants on. We are working on a couple tenants, but no signed official leases. We have a couple leads we're working on. We have let CAI know how much lab space is available, and our lab is able to be flexed to using bench space should they need to share a lab.
I think Mr. Strange had a question.
Yeah, this is our second agreement with CIA, right? And so, I guess my question is how did the Development Authority feel about the first agreement that we made?
Devin, I'll take that one if I can. So certainly not speaking for the authority. I mean, I think it's important to note, though, in our first challenge, CAI brought us 19 companies. They had a goal of 7. They brought us 19 in a place when we didn't even have a lab to talk about. At that point, very much the lab was a coming thing. The fact that they're willing to commit to 20, I think speaks to their ability to perform, but also speaks to the way that the cluster is maturing here. And so we like this opportunity.
So I think the challenge that we had was after the last bio challenge, we didn't have any space to put people in. And part of the prize was we were going to have space for them. And so now we have the space inside a building. It's a little bit different, but hopefully this will give us the opportunity to host the challenge, have the winners, have the space to put the winners in.
And in the last year, we have done quite a few reach outs to those companies, and we just haven't had the same results. We are in contact with a few of them, but most we haven't had return of calls and stuff. So it's not, we have tried to circle back to those companies.
So the top of the prospect list was the folks from the last challenge. How much time had passed? 2 years?
Yeah.
That's right. Well, and it's important to note, we delayed the completion of the challenge by, I think, 15 months because we were still, at that point, you were still working on development of a property in Princess Anne in the Innovation Park. That deal was just never came together. And so as a result, you had 19 companies that hung on for 15 months waiting on us to wrap up the challenge, and then hung on for another 2 years while we built the lab. And so it's I think that leads to but the fact that any of those companies have waited on us or still taking our calls speaks to the strength of CAI, and we very much, like I say, are believe that they're the right partner for this opportunity.
All right, any other questions for Devin? The chair will entertain a motion on the request to enter into an agreement with CAI for bio challenge.
Motion.
Got a motion from Mr. Strange? A second. Mr. Franklin, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thank you, Devin. The next item I'm going to have Mr. Strange handle.
Okay, item number 4 is request approval of a resolution authorizing the dedication of 40 acres to Architectural Graphics, Inc.
Madam Chair, members of the authority, welcome to our newest member. This is quickly. I'll just as you all know, this is a project that Laura's team has been working, but she's been out of town, a little under the weather. She's asked me to present for her this morning. She's not under the weather anymore.
Okay, I'm not taking
In the post-COVID world, things happen.
I hope
She's not under the weather anymore, but I'll present this one. And before I dive in, I want to recognize Jimmy Rayner, who's with us today. Jimmy's been a great partner as we've worked through this project, and just want to appreciate. I just want to sort of express appreciation for the partnership. I'll let you all read these disclosures before we dive in. And so here's what we have. And so first, I certainly don't have to tell any of you or any members of the public about the history of architectural graphics in our community. They're a Virginia Beach company through and through. They're born here, have grown here, have now grown well beyond our borders, operating. And Jimmy, help me. I think 6 or 8 other markets now, something to that, with,
Brentwood too.
that's right. But very much still a Virginia Beach company, as we've gotten to know, the executive leadership of the company a little better through this project, I mean, it really is great to see the heart they have for our city and for our community and their commitment to trying to find a way to grow here. We're talking about 40 acres in the Innovation Park, the consolidation of operations, between 100,000 and 400,000 square feet. We'll show you some phasing for that in just a moment. We anticipate that could be as in the current construction market, it's hard to speculate on cost and pricing. We anticipate that across all phases, this is in the neighborhood of a $40 million capital investment in our community. And this is for the retention of 500 jobs currently exist here. But this is a company that's continuing to grow. I'll tell you that last Friday I got to tour 2 of their facilities, and it's really impressive to see not just the amount of work, but the commitment of their employees, and again, it's really impressive the number of Virginia Beach citizens that they currently employ. And you'll see we're going to talk about infrastructure in a moment. Phase 1 we anticipate is 100,000 square feet at minimum, with a manufacturing space with 15,000 square feet of potentially of office. We anticipate building and site there is $13 million. I won't read all of this to you. Our goal is to get to a total project of 400,000 square feet. I've got a little more work to do on that with the prospect to ensure that becomes a reality. But we very much believe that this is a reality, that is a real possibility, and is something that we can collaborate with the company on and accomplish. Here we go. The site that we're targeting is within your innovation park. Just to orient you, this is Princess Anne Road, Field House and Sportplex. This is acoustical sheet metal. This is the land we sold to Tony DiSilvestro for his office park. This is Hudon Way, our road, and this is we've called this Project Giant. So as you all know, we've got to name a project, but we're looking at these 40 acres right here. Why these 40 acres? We think it's a perfect parcel for this use. There's 45 acres here, which have a mature stand of hardwoods on them. As you all remember, we do hope at some point to swap land with the city, lay a preservation easement over this to protect the Princess Anne viewshed in perpetuity. What we like here is a completely shielded site on. If we were looking at this on a map, turn like this. So this is actually on the north and east side of the property. This leaves us 12 acres to develop on the backside, accessed by Tournament Drive, and then we're contained by the golf course on that side. So we're looking at this parcel. This golf course is Virginia Beach National, and of course, first tee of Hampton Roads. Here's a look at how we get to 400,000 square feet. You can see this contemplates some phasing, truck access, obviously BMPs for stormwater, which we'll talk about in a minute, but our recommendation would be to handle that through the regional stormwater facilities that we have traditionally used, and then employee parking here. So, the details of the term sheet, and we've covered a lot of this already. We're looking at up to 40 acres. The BMP won't be included in the parcel simply because, as you all know, we have a long-standing precedent of providing regional stormwater detention and then basically providing all of the infrastructure in our corporate parks, so that will have to be built. You can see the developer. Our consideration here is to contribute the land. This is consistent with 2 other deals that you have done, and we really like this as a way of advancing projects. We anticipate 180 days of due diligence, 45-day closing following site plan approval. You can see here construction and consolidation of the corporate headquarters along with manufacturing as we work through the remainder of our project. And then you can see the phasing is consistent with what we just talked about, with access on Hudon Way. Now, we do anticipate, subsequent to your action, there'll be a city council action around cost participation, so that because we're going to need to expand the infrastructure in the park. Let's see if I can get to my folks. Let me back up to the map. So currently our road terminates here. In the event that you were to approve this, the work that we would immediately begin doing is we would begin working on sort of design of the extension of Hudome Way to get to at least here. My preference will be, though, I mean, it would be to explore to see if we can get it here. What this does, you can see, right now, this opens essentially the remainder of the available acreage within the park, which is important to us. I mean, obviously, what's great is Virginia Beach is proving that we can continue to be sort of the heart of economic growth in this region. Some of you saw an item that was in front of the I'm sure you all saw in the paper, an item that was in front of the Planning Commission last week. We won't talk any more about that until City Council has it on June 7th. But obviously, a tremendous industrial expansion in our community, followed by what you can see here is we've sold all of phase one. And so this infrastructure is very important for us. The infrastructure that we would build to accommodate this project opens additional parcels within the park and allows us to continue economic expansion. To carry the road, we also will need to expand BMPs, we believe, here, and here. Now that is, I don't want to get into the design of that. J.D. Myers, from basically your contract engineer, is in the room. He can speak to that more intelligently than I can, but we want to look at the maximum possible reservation that we believe that we need to deliver these additional parcels within the park. Obviously, that's to be refined as we go through our own site plan process. To ensure that we don't slow down the prospect and to slow down delivery of the building, our recommendation will be to cost participate with the developer in construction of our infrastructure. That does two things for you. One, that guarantees that the road is ready when the building is ready, and the other thing is it keeps us from having two contractors working on the same piece of dirt at the same time, which and gives us the ability to avoid conflicts. So that is granted an appropriation decision that will follow by that we'll need to follow by City Council, assuming that they are willing to do that. But it's important that we disclose that as part of this presentation. With that, I'm happy to take any questions, and it is our request that you approve the term sheet, allow us to sort of finish this deal.
Any questions?
Can you speak just a little bit to the potential swap of what's labeled here as preservation area and what that access may look like? Because I'm looking at also to the right, I'll just say, because I think oriented is probably the southeast.
That's right. Yes, sir.
That little yellow piece that says available, what is the access to that property? And then what does the future on the map, just down, but probably to the west, what does all that look like?
And so, Mr. Bunky, thank you for the question. It's important for me to note this is something that we would have to take to City Council.
Of course.
And that this is obviously a conversation that we would have to have with the body. They would consider and approve. But given the importance of stormwater in the southern part of the city, specifically as we get into the southern watershed, we recognize that if we don't do this land swap, then it's my job to start cutting down these trees and mitigate and doing wetland mitigation. I can tell you that will in no way be palatable to the community. And also, I would tell you, I don't know that if it's what we have to do, we will. Not speaking for anyone other than my own personal opinion, I don't know that that's responsible. Like I say, we've got a lovely mature stand of hardwood here. We'd love to preserve that. We also like the screening that gives us from along the Princess Anne Road viewshed from the industrial uses. And so, one of the things we'd like to consider, this parcel is currently in agricultural rotation. It touches our innovation park. City Council owns it. We'd love to swap. And in the swap, we would lay a preservation over this to create a real community benefit to ensure that stand of hardwoods stayed there in perpetuity. So that is a speculative action. It's something, quite frankly, it's kind of a passion project of mine. It's just because I think it's the right thing to do. And so we're working through what this could look like now, and this approval would force me to sort of ripen that plan and get it finished. Answering your other question, 12 acres. As you can see, this is Tournament Drive.
Oh, it's off the golf course road.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right. And so you'll remember this is a parcel that we're having an ongoing conversation. We actually have it. We're working through a term sheet here. This parcel will facilitate some improvement to this right of way. Upsizing this B&P a little bit to accommodate this parcel makes a lot of sense. And then we just we would bring our traffic improvement to here. We would focus in this 12 acres, our recommendation to you, obviously, we take the deal that comes to us. We would recommend focusing on something that was more of a profession, that had a heavier professional office component than truck traffic, just given the adjoining use here. But like I say, we've got to finish this before we can really start working here, but Tournament Drive makes sense as a southern access.
What is the Live Oak Grove?
Sir?
Down at the bottom.
That, best I can tell, and this is just where, we're trying to figure this one out as well. Best I can tell, that is a throwback to when a lot of this land was, as you can see, this is squared off. I believe this is the parcel where there wasn't a nursery, like a plant nursery for years. And I think when the nursery shut down, they were growing live oaks or they planted live oaks, and they have matured to an extent. And so that is the extent of what I know about that, but obviously that is, I have learned a lot about live oaks in Virginia Beach, and they're, generally if we talk about them, we only talk about them in a preservation sense. So that's something
Who
we'll
owns
work
that
on
land?
next.
Who owns that land?
The city does.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to be abstaining from the vote on this. My firm does work for the applicant, so Joe's going to call the vote.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Brown.
Okay, call for the vote. All approved, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
All right, next item on the agenda is an update. Do we have an item still for Town Center? I think we,
We've asked you to defer that until whatever the next month is, June.
so we'll defer item number 5. I think we still have item number 6.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the authority, and guests. This is a request from Nando's Peri Peri Chicken for an outdoor cafe to be located on the authority property with staff recommendation of approval. Disclosure statement. About the company, Nando's is a South African chicken restaurant known for its spicy sauces, platters, and french fries, and healthy bowl options. Most of the United States restaurants are located in the Washington, D.C. and Chicago area. For Virginia, this location will be the first Nando's south of Alexandria. The site location is at the authority's Fountain Plaza at 221 Central Park Avenue and in Council District 4. Fountain Plaza currently has 2 outdoor cafes located. One is Bravo's Italian Kitchen at 1,187 square feet with a seating capacity of 40. Annual use fee paid to the Town Center SSD of $6,144.01. As well as Quirks, which is an 850 square foot cafe with a seating capacity of 47 with an annual use fee of $4,223.78. Nando's proposal is for a 1,140 square foot outdoor cafe with a seating capacity of 74. They propose an elevated floating decking system that'll be flush with the sidewalk area. They utilize the existing railing and masonry wall as well as modify that area to add in a composite wood cladding with outdoor planters. They incorporate steel gating, self-shutting gate systems that can be secured when the outdoor cafe is not in use. The seating has bench seating. They also incorporate 3 of the outdoor trees that are located in the plaza. They have additional canopies, string lighting, and heating systems, 4 heating systems that can be used in the cooler season. This is a ceiling plan showing the fabric sail canopies as well as the 4 heating systems that will be installed. The cafe elevations you can see on the east and the west side where the composite wood cladding is incorporated with the outdoor cafes. This will have a custom design as well as the fabric canopies and the heating elements. This is a rendering of what the outdoor cafe will look like.
Totally outdoors.
Totally outdoors.
You think this is Miami?
There's an indoor component to the restaurant as well.
Well, yeah, oh, yes, there is indoor as well, but this is a request for the outdoor cafe on authority property. These are the elements, the detail elements that show the bench seating, the tabletops, the different chairs and the colors of the chairs, as well as the composite decking that will be used on the flooring, the composite wood cladding, the upholstery that will be used on the bench seating, as well as the heating, lighting, and canopy elements. The proposal and benefit analysis for the 1,140 square foot outdoor cafe provided by Nando's is a conservative projection of $515,000 to $600,000 of annual sales based on the 74 seats with an average seat cost per 20 with a 2-turn per day, with a daily amount of 1,480 and a monthly of 91,760, with a very conservative use time of March to September, with a total sales of 642,320. Total sales excluding 20% transfer, and then an annual use fee that will be paid to the Town Center SSD of $6,999.60, which is paid on July 1 of each year.
How do we establish the use fee?
The use fee is determined by the square footage. It's $6.14 per foot with a 3% annual increase.
And that's based on what we're charging the other cafes.
To recap the Town Center process, the initial proposal was reviewed according to the Town Center Cafe regulations. It was also shared with our Central Business District Association Executive Board. They did provide a letter to the authority of general support, but did request some revisions and additional information. Nando's has accommodated that additional information and those revisions, and that is present in the proposal that's been presented to you today. They, of course, will have to submit all plans for the authority's review and obtain all required permits and licenses, and an outdoor cafe agreement will need to be executed. Staff's recommendation is for approval, but acknowledging there is a variance that was required for the Town Center Cafe regulations. With regard, the structure must be easily dismantled. Cafes must have direct access to the host restaurant. The flooring shall be the existing paving and sidewalk. This flooring proposes a floating composite wood decking. The fencing and railing shall be factory finished metal, stone, or manufactured fiberglass. The east and west elevations of this proposal incorporate a composite wood cladding. Due diligence regarding efficient lighting in the cafe, as well as the incorporation of the 3 trees, has been provided, which was requested in our brief as well by the Central Business District Association Executive Board. A lighting study was provided and did secure that the lighting proposal meets or exceeds the current light levels, as well as a certified arborist did review the floating deck that is being proposed and concluded that the 17-inch opening in the floating deck around the trees is sufficient, provided the ability to adjust and proper care of the trees is maintained. And the outdoor grilling, refrigeration, and storage has been removed from the proposal. With this, staff recommends approval.
Okay, so this is before the development authority, because we're the landlord, right? We control the cafe area, number 1, and number 2, the Town Center Cafe regulations is something that we enforce. And so as we look at this particular application is about the same size as what Bravo has for their outdoor cafe. I think the main difference is the installations are a bit more of a permanent nature than what we've allowed in the past and what the regulations would necessarily require, which is why you see it's referred to as a variance, but it's really just a modification of our regulations or recognition that now the outdoor component of any restaurant after, post-pandemic is critically important to the restaurant. And so this provides them that additional outdoor space. Looks like it's going to be very nice. It's just a little more permanent than what we've allowed in the past and what the regulations actually allow for. So with that, any other questions about what we're actually being asked to do, NECA?
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair. Question regarding accessibility to this outdoor cafe. So you
Yes.
mentioned that it's raised. Would individuals with disabilities, folks on wheelchairs, be able to access this
It
space?
will now be flush with the existing sidewalk.
Okay, all right. Just looking at the rendering, it looked a bit raised.
Yes.
So is that
It is
because
not flush.
the area that we're talking about actually sits a little lower than the rest of the sidewalk, or vice
It currently
versa?
does, but it will not with the floating elevated deck.
So the elevated deck
Yes.
actually makes it more accessible for?
It does.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, that was a good question, NECA. Any other questions?
Just,
Sure, Mr. Parker.
thank you, Madam Chair. So we're talking about the outdoor piece, but I heard there was an indoor component, but everything we're talking about for this piece is strictly for an outdoor piece, great?
Yes, the outdoor piece is an authority property. The indoor, the block is split regarding city and authority ownership. But yes, they're going in where the old Ann Taylor loft was located.
How much indoor space versus outdoor? Is this another 50% or?
I apologize, I don't know what the indoor size is, but anyone else might know that. I don't.
Probably 50/50, because
It's about 50/50.
Thinking about-
because the, Ann Taylor loft space was not a
it
large.
wasn't that big, yeah.
Tenant space.
So this really gives them double
54
the area.
additional seats
Yeah.
with the.
All right, with that, the chair will entertain a motion on the request.
So moved.
We've got a motion?
Second.
Second for Mr. Parker. Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the EDIP resolution number 7. Are we
I
gonna?
believe we were asking to defer this item as well.
Okay. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, we're, Paige a little under the weather, not with us today, so we'll, if possible, we'll defer this till she gets back.
So we'll defer item number 7. In administrative information, I just wanted, number 1, to recognize Ronnie Parker, who is our newest member to the Development Authority. And I thought it would be nice for Mr. Parker just to tell us a little bit about himself.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you all for having me. Ronnie Parker. Been around Virginia Beach for quite some time by way of the military. Brought my family here from North Carolina. Amazing wife and 2 wonderful twins at home. Been around for a little bit looking at some work regionally as far as MSAs and making Virginia Beach even more prosperous than we already are. So I'm just elated to be here working with this great group and looking how we can see to further expand our reach and be even more inviting to those looking to come to Virginia Beach.
Wonderful. Thank you. Couldn't have said it better myself. Any other comments from commissioners? I think what we'll do now is we'll go ahead to the director's report and then come back to the items 9A and B, if that's okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Not a lot from me this month, other than to say thank you for your support on everything that we brought to you as you all continue to help us ensure that this economy continues to grow. Recognize Nicole Riff from the Hampton Roads Alliance has been with us the last 3 or 4 meetings, Nicole, one or the other. Nicole's Chief Strategy Officer with the Alliance. We're glad that she's been here with us. Beyond that, the only thing that we would offer is, as you all likely know, City Council approved a budget last week, and in the world of the municipal calendar, that's kind of an important thing for us. If it's like Christmas that precedes New Year's, and so and fortunately, want to show appreciation to our city council. This year, if budget approval is Christmas in municipal government, we certainly did not get a lump of coal. So appreciate their hard work to ensure that we continue to have the tools that we need to do this work. Of course, our fiscal year will kick off on July 1. So I have, thank you.
Taylor, our appropriations from city council are tied to the cigarette tax, is that how it works?
Yes, that's right. Our appropriation specific to your incentives account, your EDIP line, is tied directly to a carve out of the cigarette tax. Sad for us, good for society. That is a diminishing revenue stream, but this year that's projected to be about $2.2 million.
Great, all right. Any other questions? The next item is, I'll skip 9A and go to 9B, resolution and presentation. Is that? Is 9 all the same?
It's all the same.
Okay.
We do it after closed, if you like.
Okay, well, let's do that then. As most of you know, Dot Wood, who was a member of this body for a very long time, we had intended to recognize, we will still do that, but I think what we'll do in the interest of time is convene into a closed session and then reopen and go into open session and acknowledge George Wood. So the chair will entertain a motion to recess into a closed session pursuant to the exemptions from open meetings allowed by Section 2.2-3711A Code of Virginia as amended for the following purposes: contract negotiation, discussion of the award of a public contract involving the expenditure of public funds, including interviews of bidders or offerers, and discussion of the terms or scope of such contract, where discussion in an open session would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A30. Prospective business or industry. Discussion concerning a prospective business or industry or the expansion of an existing business or industry where no previous announcement has been made of the business or industry's interest in locating or expanding its facilities in the community pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A5. And publicly held property, discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property for a public purpose or the disposition of publicly held property where discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A3. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion for Mr. Brunke.
Second.
And a second for Mr. Strange, and then we'll have a roll call vote.
David Byrne.
Aye.
William Brown.
Yes.
William Brunke.
Yes.
Linda Theodore.
Yes.
Taylor Franklin.
Yes.
Penny Morgan is not here. Lisa Murphy.
Aye.
Ronnie Parker.
Aye.
Mike Standing is not here. Joe Strange.
Yes.
Victor Weisenseal. Murphy,
Yes.
Ronnie Parker,
Aye.
Joseph Strange.
All right, and now that we've convened our closed session, we are going to reopen.
Good to see you.
Welcome, Dot.
So we've had a long time together. Good to see you all. Thanks for having us.
So good to see you. And at this time, I'm going to read a resolution of the City of Virginia Beach Development Authority to Dorothy L. Wood. Whereas the Virginia Beach Development Authority of the City of Virginia Beach, Virginia was created to serve certain purposes, among which are those of promoting industry and developing trade by inducing manufacturing, industrial, governmental, and commercial enterprises to locate or remain in the Commonwealth of Virginia by assisting in the acquisition, construction, equipping, enlargement, and improvement of commercial facilities. And whereas Dorothy L. Wood was appointed to the authority on September 1st, 2011, and served for 11 years with distinction until April 3rd, 2022. And whereas Dorothy L. Wood represented the City of Virginia Beach Development Authority as the City Council Liaison, Dome Site Committee Liaison, Hampton Roads Economic Development Alliance Liaison, Military Economic Development Committee Liaison, Oceana Land Use Conformity Committee Liaison, Town Center Liaison, and many others probably that we didn't even list here. And whereas during her tenure, Virginia Beach experienced unprecedented growth, expansion, and prosperity, and whereas this commercial growth has led to the increase in jobs for the citizens of both the City of Virginia Beach and Hampton Roads, and whereas this commercial growth has provided revenue to support many services necessary to a young, thriving community, and whereas the support of dedicated citizens such as Dorothy L. Wood has made Virginia Beach a better place to live, work, and recreate, and now therefore we, the City of Virginia Beach Development Authority, hereby recognize the invaluable service and contributions made by Dorothy L. Wood to the betterment of the City of Virginia Beach. And this is just your 11 years on the Development
Sweetheart,
Authority.
you know you're my daughter.
That's before your time on the Planning Commission and many, I doubt I doubt you could find a more dedicated public servant to the
Was.
city than Dot here.
Thank you, love.
In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the Virginia Beach Development Authority of the City of Virginia Beach, Virginia, to be affixed hereto this 17th day of May in the year of our Lord, 2022.
Thank you so much. She's gonna be your future doctor. She's a tech.
Welcome. Do you want to say anything?
I'm just thankful to be here. I certainly have had such a wonderful time with the city, and I do appreciate all of you and all of your care. But let's take care of each other. It was in the paper, you know.
Oh, okay.
So it's, we have to take care of each other and just love each other. Time goes by quickly.
Very quickly,
When
yeah.
did I first meet you?
Well, we spent 16 years together, Commissioner.
16 on the Planning Commission? Wow.
Between the Planning Commission and here, 16 years together,
Wow, we could retire.
right?
And
I've always
Steve,
found out to be a very talented
we had such a good
commissioner, right?
time, remember?
Well, we've had a great time together, right?
It's been a good time. Thank you all so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for your friendship.
Truly appreciate
Ellen?
you and are so
And
happy.
you know, this all happened at the Christmas party
Oh, yeah.
when I got sick. So we don't go to Christmas parties. I tried to pick up. No, I tried to pick up hors d'oeuvres. It wouldn't. And so thank goodness.
Well, now you're on the mend, so that's the important
It'll be
thing.
important. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dot. I'm gonna give this to you.
That's Chris's
This is Chris's daughter, okay.
my girl. She's home for the summer.
Driver.
Yes. Running some errands.
She's great.
Well, thank you, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to
Hate all of
see
you.
you, and we
Thank you, love.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Have a
Sorry
good
about the timing.
It's all right, we were outside. She organized my purse. She said,
Yes, we got some things done.
so it's so good to have them home.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dot.
Love you, Luke.
This little work.
We appreciate you. Yeah, I think we are now convened. Thank you all for sticking around.
Hey.